praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, which is word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And I say shalom to Akim out there. And this is in the news, quick sit-down lesson and a continual update of wars and rumors of wars, nation rising against nations as well too, as it increasing in the latter days. And this is a news article from the Jerusalem Post and was published by TZVIJOFFRE and published August the 16th, 2022, and updated on August 16th, 2022. And the highlight of this news article for In the News for today on August the 16th, 2022 at 3:13 p.m. Central Standard Time on this Tuesday afternoon. And it reads, Iran, Russia, Belarus, and Armenia joins joint drone competition. They says the competition comes as the U.S. warns that Russia is preparing to buy Iranian drones. It says Iran, Russia, Belarus, and Armenia launching a military drone competition in Kashan, if I pronounce that right, in central Iran on Monday, just days after the U.S. confirmed that Russia officials were beginning to train the use drones. Right, because there have been a lot of drones attacks been going on places like Syria, places like Iraq, Afghanistan, Yemen, so especially across the borders between Lebanon, Israel as well too. Now you're still seeing a drone competition, And I'm going to read it again. Iran, Russia, Belarus, and Armenia launching a military drone competition in Kashan and central Iran on Monday, just days after the U.S. confirmed that Russia officials were being trained to use Iranian drones. And potentially, those Iranian drones potentially might be used with the current tensions of war going on in Russia and Ukraine. Ain't no telling, Russia might use those drones to use on the Ukraine military, as the Russia-Ukraine tensions intensifying more than ever, Over 70 soldiers from the four countries are participating in the tournament, which includes 5 stages of physical fitness and shooting and 4 drone divisions, including aerial reconnaissance for 3 days, air support, correction of artillery fire, right, because you've been seeing a lot of artillery fire and shelling going on in the Russian-Ukraine situation. Artillery fire, Renaissance at night, Ancosis, Renaissance, Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, Bridget General al-Balari told Iranian media the competition will close on September 6th. The competition was first held in 2015 by Russia and Kazakhstan, and Iran has taken part in the past 6 competitions. The U.S. warned Russia it's training to use Iranian drones. In July, the United States National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan told reporters that Iran is preparing to provide Russia with several hundred drones. Right, I remember that because I did a video on this as well too back in July, including some that are capable of being armed with new weapons. Because Russia and Iran, their relationship is getting close. They're potentially close allies. It says Iranian government is preparing to provide Russia with up to 100 UAVs, including weapon capability ones, on an expedited timeline, Silverman says. Our information is further indicates that Iran is preparing to train Russian forces to use these UAVs with initial training sessions slated to begin as soon as early July, which passed already. It says on Thursday, the U.S. State Department Deputy Spokesperson Vendon Petit told reporters that the U.S. is able to confirm that Russian officials conducting training in Iran in recent weeks as a part of a planned transfer of drones. We vigorously enforce all U.S. sanctions on both Russia and Iran trades. The kind of transactions by mentioning are potential sanctionable under a number of authorities, including the non-limit to Russia-Pacific authorities and our worldwide non-proliferation sanctions, said Batum. We remain incredibly concerned about Iran's use and proliferation, just like the United States is concerned in the world. Well, basically just like Israel and Israel and the United States, just like same similarities, they are concerned about Iran's nuclear capability, Iran's of uranium to create a potential nuclear bomb and stuff like that. It's kind of the same, similar to that. I'm gonna read it again. We remain incredibly concerned about Iran's use of proliferation of UAVs. They may have been used to attack U.S. forces or partners in the region, because you do have Iranian-backed groups in Syria and Yemen and parts of Iraq as well too. And these Iranian-backed groups, as I mentioned in those countries, they use drones as well too, because you've been having a lot of drone strikes or air strikes, because you got the United States military station base, which during the past couple of months they've been under attack with drones and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's what the United States is definitely concerned about. And from what I was reading through the article, they're going to use some type of sanctions against them. But continuing on with the reading, it says U.S. forces and partners in the region of international shipping entities will continue to use all available tools, including but not limited to sanctions, to prevent, deteriorate, and dismantle the procurement network that supplies the UAV-related materials technology to Iran. So yeah, that's wars and rumors of wars definitely increasing, As I stated before, I'm gonna state it again. That's why you've been seeing all these, even if it might be just practice or whatever, or training, but these are showing signs of wars and rumors of wars are increasing. The wars and rumors of wars are becoming a reality as we starting to see it on an everyday basis. And then at the same time, you've been seeing a large amount of increase of nations doing military exercise drills, military drill games, military joint base, Navy type drills, Air Force type drills, rockets and missile launches, or hypersonic missile launches, and ICBM missile launches, tests as well too, for training. So all these things are building up and increasing for that WW3, which is recorded in the book of Revelations 11 and 14. Second war was past. We hold the third war coming quickly, you know. And I'm going to bring out the normal scripture as I always bring out in regards to these wars and rumors of wars. Definitely increasing and intensifying. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. In verse 7, Matthew 24 and 7, in the Holy Scriptures, and it reads, for nation shall rise against nations, and kingdom against kingdoms, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Yeah, because you're going to see these things and increase and intensify and increasing now more than ever, you know. That's why throughout the whole year of 2021, building up to more training, exercise training, military training, live drills training, simulation style training, the nations against one another in assimilation style. What's not too long ago, what Israel did assimilation type style training to target Iran, you know, because the tensions are stirring up between those two. Then you got tensions with the Russia-Ukraine situation, tensions over there in Yemen, tensions continuing with the Iran-Palestinian thing, the cross borders between Israel and Lebanon and Syria, you know. So all these things are intensifying around the world, you know. Rumors of wars increasing, nation against nations, kingdom against kingdoms around the world as well too. It's definitely increasing, because you might have times tensions might slow down a little bit, then it's going to intensify and increase and speed right back up, you know. So with that, this was just a quick little update of wars and rumors of wars increasingly, as you're starting to see more and more on an everyday basis throughout the different months, different days and weeks, increasing with these increase of with these military drills and joint exercise drills, missile launch drills, hypersonic, ICBMs, the long-range, short-range missile tests. As you're starting to see these things to increase now more and more. And so with that, I hope this was edifying through the spirit, power, grace, and mercy of Yahweh Yahushua. And then I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered to the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, that be like unto the speckled bird, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And until next time, I will say shalom and a ball.